This is also not gonna take that long. I just wanted to share this moment with you guys, and I'm always here, so we're sharing a moment right now. But y'all see who that is from. So anyway, let's go ahead and open it. Yeah. Man, they left this shit downstairs in the lobby. What is it? It's just like YouTube dead smack on the front of that bitch. Like, you ready?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I got a little note. It's very cool. I'm very appreciative of it. I'm very happy for it. But anyway, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But anyway, into the real video that we're here for today. Okay, so what is the goddamn deal, YouTube? It is, of course, your boy Vuhlandes. And by the title of this video, you already know what we're going to be talking about. Shooting film without a light meter. Hold on one second though. In my experience of shooting film lately, the film cameras I've owned do not have light meters on the inside. Now, I told y'all I wasn't going to teach on this channel because I don't want to use my information and make it seem like this is what you have to do, because I feel like the way people approach photography is always subjective. Whatever works for them works for them. Whatever works for me works for me. So I never want to actually like teach, but at the same time, I feel like some people could be interested in the way you do something opposed to the way they were taught, or opposed to the way that they know how to do something. So this is going to be one of those videos for me. I don't do these often, but who knows, I might change my mind and start doing videos like these. But anyway, how I shoot without a light meter. First of all, these cameras that I have right here, the RZ67 actually has a built-in light meter. Well, it's supposed to. Mine does not work. I had the RB67, does not have a light meter. If you're new to photography, and especially film photography, and you do not have a light meter, and you do not have the room to fuck up and take pictures that's underexposed or overexposed, because film does cost, and it costs a lot, and you don't want to be out there fucking it up because you don't know what you're doing. It's kind of intimidating because a lot of people don't want to get into it because they're like, I don't want to fuck up. I don't know how to really judge light. I don't know what's a good exposure also. But to be honest, you can download a light meter onto your phone, and then that's an easy way to, you know, meter your light. Also, you can buy a light meter. They're very expensive, which is why I never bought one. Also, don't have a light meter app on my phone and never downloaded one, because the type of shooter that I am, I do not have the time to I don't have the time to meter for the light sometimes. Like, a lot of stuff happens, light changes, we're in different places, we're running gun, I gotta take a shot real quick. I don't be really having the time to meter for the light. Maybe I do, but I've gotten so used to not doing it that I just don't, because I'm used to it at this point. But if you're not used to it at this point, I'm going to kind of explain to you what I do, how I go about exposing my film photos. First of all, there is this thing called the Sunny 16. I had no idea about this when I first started shooting film. I actually just learned about this a couple months ago. And to not go into deep detail about it, because I do believe that the Sunny 16 rule is very helpful, but like, I don't find myself actually following that rule very much. And basically, from what I learned and what I read and the videos that I've watched on it, basically what you do is, if you're shooting ISO 400 film, you want to match your shutter speed as close to the film you're shooting. So if I'm shooting portrait 400, I'm gonna match my shutter speed, and the closest shutter speed to 400 on my RZ67 is 400. So for the entire day, my shutter speed would be 400, and it'd be ISO 400 film in my camera. Apparently, like for the Sunny 16 rule, like if it's a very bright note, not one single cloud in the sky type of day, supposed to shoot it at f16, and then if it's like some clouds in the sky, you shoot it at like f11 still, shutter speed 400. And this is how some people go about shooting it, but I for one do not take pictures at f16, f11. Sometimes it very much depends. I kind of shoot wide open a lot, and maybe up to like f8, rarely go to f11, but sometimes it's there. My years of shooting digital and handling light and just like really studying photography and how light works and where light is coming from and how light falls off and where it hits and like shadows. So I learned like what overexposure does and like how you expose for like shadows, or if you want to expose for the highlights. And I think it's a lot easier than like people kind of make it seem, especially with film cameras, because this film camera, there's not a lot of functions on my film camera. Like the highest my shutter speed goes to is 400. The lowest it can go to while I'm shooting handheld is 60. I learned that through trial and error. I feel like a lot of these things are learned through trial and error. I learned that the lowest I can shoot my camera while holding it is 60. If I go down to 30, it's gonna be blurry, it's gonna be shaky, it's not gonna look good. I learned that because it's happened to me. Also, with film, it's very forgiving, especially a film like Portrait 400. What you don't want to do is kind of underexpose film, because it's kind of hard to bring it back from underexposed and very easy to bring it back from overexposing. So there's a lot of room to fuck up. Does that mean you should overexpose and like make your photo completely white? Not at all. I still think you need to know a little bit how light works and what you're doing a little bit. What we're gonna do today, we're gonna be shooting inside in a studio, and we're also going to be shooting outside in bright daylight, and just showing y'all kind of how I go about certain things when I shoot in these situations. Barnacles. No vibes, man. All right, so right now we are at the Detroit Artist Test Lab, about to shoot with Dylan, of course.
That's good.
As always, but yeah, we're about to take some studio style portraits, mainly natural light, you know what I'm saying? Show them natural light. We got these panels right here, kind of just like, I guess giving off some like, a little bit like, it's pretty much nothing at the same time. But yeah, so I'm gonna show y'all how I kind of go about shooting these type of things without a light meter. Have you ever seen me use a light meter?
No, sir.
You don't even know what that is, because you never
know what that is if you don't use it.
It looks like it's a lot of light because we can control the light with the camera, but like if I was to take this on my film camera, my camera does not, I don't have film that goes up to 3200. So we're using 400 speed film, and we're going to be just shooting based off the knowledge that I've gained through taking photos for like 7 years, I guess. For this, the light's a little dim, so usually the lowest I can go shooting is, like shooting handheld is 60, but we're shooting at 400 ISO film, and I don't think 60 is gonna let enough light in. I would have to push this in the development process to get it to the right exposure. So what I'm gonna do is have it on a tripod and shoot at 15th of a second. So you always wanna shoot at a low aperture when you're working with less light. That's like a no-brainer, right? But anyway, let's get straight to it. We got this cool little tripod right here. I ain't never like worked with some shit like this. This shit move, you know what I'm saying? Come on now. Are you ready? You gotta stay completely still. All right. 1, 2. Perfecto. I shot digital for years. So it's kind of like, and when I shot digital for years, when you shoot every single day for 7 years, you kind of just like have an idea of what light, like when light comes in from this way, like how it's gonna look and how it's gonna hit and where it falls off, and like how lighting kind of works. So I advise people, if you don't shoot digital or you get straight into film, I feel like it's gonna be a harder time understanding light as to when you shoot digital and then start shooting film. Also, I've been in situations where I fucked up, and when you fuck up, what happens when you fuck up? You learn. So next time you fuck up, so next time it won't be a fuck up, you know what I'm saying? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. And since we're shooting wide open at 3.5 and letting the most light in as possible, I'm gonna shoot at, the best thing about like this film camera in general is that it doesn't go up to like anything past 400. So you're really limited in what you can do in the first place anyway. And I'm gonna overexpose this anyway. So just being in this situation before and other times I've shot in like light like this, I would have shot it at like something like maybe 250, but I think I'm gonna shoot at 125 because I want to overexpose it a little bit. So yeah, also it's early. It's not early, but I just woke up, so like I feel kind of tired. 1, 2. I like it.
Nice. You should have it messy a little bit more in the front. Yeah.
No.
It hurts. It hurts.
All right.
What?
All right, 1, 2. Perfect. All right, 1, 2. So I noticed that I didn't do the best job of explaining why, like what I was doing or why I was doing stuff. And pretty much, so when it's very bright outside, I kind of always go out with the same intentions. If I'm going to be shooting wide open, which is 3.5 or 4.5, and if it's a sunny day, the highest my shutter speed can go up to is 400. But from experience, if I shot a photo like that, that would put me around like kind of perfectly exposing the shot. But what I like to do is I kind of like to overexpose my shot. To me, I like the feel of kind of overexposing your shot and how you can work with it once you overexpose your shot. So what I like to do is kind of overexpose my shot. If I'm gonna be shooting wide open, I'm gonna be shooting 400 film. I'm going to be shooting at least 250 or 125. I do this every single time. If I'm going to be shooting indoors, especially with film, what I want to do is go to the place with the most light. And I'm still shooting at a shutter speed of 60 because that's just like what I learned that's best for indoors. For when I shoot, if it's just who's texting me? If it's just a regular type of house type of setting, not a place with like a bunch of light or a lot of light coming through and it's just like very bright in a place. If it's just a place like this, I'm always shooting at a shutter speed of 60th. My aperture is always wide open and I try to shoot 800 film indoors just so I can have more ISO. A lot of people ask me, so what do you do? Do you just guess? And the short answer to that is yes, but the long answer to that, not really that long, but I've spent years and years and years practicing, playing with light, studying how light works, what light does what, how bright this light is, how bright the sun is compared to even on a sunny day, if you're in a shadow up under a tree, how bright that sun's going to be behind you. There's a lot of things that go into being able to shoot without a light meter, but I think the most important thing you have to do is just do it. But there are some videos about the Sunny 16 if you want to know about that a little bit more. It might be a little bit more helpful than me telling you just go out and guess. Hopefully people don't get too mad and, you know what I'm saying, think I'm an idiot and shit like that, because people be so mad at me just for me, I can just breathe and niggas just be mad at me. But it is what it is. I try to just kind of explain to you guys my process and how I do things and how I go about things. Hopefully that doesn't piss anybody off. If it does, bro, I don't know. I'm sorry, I guess. Anyway, I do want to mention that I have some presets in my store right now. I spent a lot of time playing and making these presets because if anybody has shot Fuji, they know that editing Fuji photos is not easy. Not easy at all. It took me a very long time to kind of make these presets and kind of just like get a look that kind of matches my work and the things that I like. So I do have presets in my store. The link to that store will be in the description. I hope you guys, you know what I'm saying, go over there and pick those up, enjoy them, and yeah, start, you know what I'm saying, editing your Fuji. And the thing is, these presets work on any type of camera. Colors still look good on Canon, Sony, and especially Fuji's. But anyway, I'm gonna end that video here. I've been rambling and talking a lot. If you are not subscribed, please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. If you are subscribed, please ring the bell so you get notified every single time I drop a new video. It is truly and gratefully appreciated. I love you guys. Yeah, see y'all in the next one. Let's go do some shit.